Hello and welcome to Newscentre. I'm Parikshat Luthra. The Election Commission's decision to conduct an electoral roll revision drive in Bihar just months ahead of the state's assembly elections has stirred a controversy. Opposition parties have alleged that the move is aimed at disenfranchising close to 3 crore voters who may not be in a position to furnish the required documents. The RJD and the Congress held a protest march against the Election Commission's decision in Patna. Congress's Rahul Gandhi and RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav led the rally. The BJP-led NDA has defended the revision exercise, accusing the opposition of trying to come up with an excuse ahead of a certain defeat in elections. The Supreme Court has raised serious doubts over the Election Commission completing this exercise within the stipulated timeline. It has also asked the Election Commission to include Aadhaar, voter ID, ration card as proof of identity. The Apex Court was hearing a batch of petitions challenging the legality of the exercise months before the Bihar election. Ashmit Kumar joins us now. Ashmit, what were the court's observations?
Well, it was almost a full day of arguments before the Supreme Court, and primarily there are two concerns that are weighing on the minds of the Apex Court. Number one, the compressed timelines of it all. The Supreme Court casting doubts over the 90-day timeline that has been prescribed for this intensive revision of the electoral rolls. The Supreme Court asking questions of the Election Commission as to why being done in such a short span of time, why is it being linked to the Bihar elections, what happens to voters who get excluded, will they have time to in fact appeal before the Bihar elections against any removal that may take place? Will there be time to in fact conduct hearings? All of these questions raised on quote-unquote practical questions being raised by the Apex Court being posed towards the Election Commission. This was one. The second key doubt is under the SIR, there are 11 documents that are provided for verification of your name on the electoral roll. Now, the question being asked is that why is Aadhaar, the voter card, as well as the ration card excluded from this list of 11 documents? And the question that was put forth before the Election Commission is that the voter ID card is issued by the Election Commission itself. Another question that was posed is that the Aadhaar is provided under the Representation of People's Act. The law provides for using Aadhaar as means of identification, and despite that, it's not been excluded as a part of the 11 documents that are cited under the SIR. And on account of both these questions, the Supreme Court has asked the Election Commission to consider the use of Aadhaar, the voter ID card, as well as the ration card for conducting this electoral revision. This was, in fact, one of the strongest demands that had been put forth by the petitioners. They want Aadhaar to be included. They want the voter ID to be included. And on account of this order, the petitioners not seeking any interim stay. However, the hearing in this case will resume later this month on July 28th. Back to you.
All right, joining us now to discuss this is BJP spokesperson Radhika Khera. Advocate KK Manan will be joining us, and Anwar Pasha, spokesperson of the RJD, will also be with us. Radhika Khera, in a big way, this is a question mark for the ruling party as well. The party had been defending the revision of electoral rolls for the state of Bihar, and today the Supreme Court has asked some tough questions. They've said, go ahead with this exercise, but why now? We have no problem with the timing, but with this exercise. And why are you excluding Aadhaar? What is the right of an ordinary citizen of Bihar to appeal in case he is disenfranchised? And also, what about the right to appeal? So some tough questions being raised there for the Election Commission. The opposition is going to ask questions on this. How would you respond?
You know, the opposition today isn't defending democracy. They're defending illegality. Let's be very clear. When more than 4 crore voters in Bihar have voluntarily submitted verification forms, when the Supreme Court has refused to stay the process and has acknowledged the constitutional validity of the Election Commission's actions, then what exactly is the Congress and RJD going to protest about? Also, let me remind you that the next date of hearing is post the last date of when the documents have to be submitted. So the stand of the court is very clear in that as well. Now, we have the RJD and the Congress and their India alliance, jo bhi wahan Gathbandhan mein hai, what are they fighting for? Are they fighting for Indian voters, or they're fighting to keep infiltrators on the electoral roll? The court today has made no bones about it. It is said that this is a matter that goes to the root of democracy and refused to grant any interim stay. I will repeat myself, refused to grant any interim stay. Instead, it has asked the Election Commission to consider including Aadhaar, voter ID card and ration cards. That's fine. In fact, yesterday I was on a debate on your sister Hindi channel, and I believe one of your producers also said that he managed to get his verification done by using an Aadhaar card. Now, the EC has already said that they are going to consider it, and in some cases, the BLOs are also considering it. Now, what is the protest for? The truth is very uncomfortable. The opposition knows it cannot win Bihar through illegitimate votes. We've seen that, so it's preparing grounds for excuses, claiming rigging in advance, questioning the EC, and calling the entire democratic process into question. Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav led street rallies while the matter was sub judice. That's not politics. It's an open attempt. I repeat myself. It's an open attempt to pressurize the judiciary and delegitimize democratic institutions. And I want to ask this. Was it not under RJD rule that Bihar earned the name of booth capturing capital of India? And the same RJD, which was led by Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav and Rabri Yadav, the mother and father of the same Tejasvi Yadav who was protesting today, did we not witness rampant voter-led fraud and muscle power during the Lalu Rabri era? We did. Today, when the process is transparent, legally backed by Section 21(3) of the Representation of the People's Act, with full opportunity for correction, appeal, and redressal, they are calling it undemocratic. The truth is, they are not fighting voter suppression; they are fighting voter purification. This is not a bunch for democracy. It is a bunch to protect fake votes and power at any cost.
Anwar Pasha, Anwar Pasha of the RJD, you've got the BJP saying that this electoral roll revision, this special intensive revision was required to, to do away with fake voter ID cards and people who should not be participating in the voting process. The Supreme Court today has asked some very tough questions. How would you take your campaign against the special intensive revision here onwards?
Thank you so much. We had our parliamentary election some 1 year back, and it was the same electoral roll on which the election was conducted by the Election Commission. Before the parliamentary election, there was a normal, I think, ordinary revision of the electoral roll. Not only that, just 6 months back, a process of revision started in October 2024 and ended in January 2025. After these two revisions, now suddenly the Election Commission says that this electoral roll is bogus, and they want to revise it. And this is not a normal revision. This is not ordinary revision. This is a special intensive revision, which means that entire electoral roll is declared null and void, and a new set of electoral roll is going to be prepared. And the timing is also very important. Just 1 month or 1.5 months is being given for this, a special intensive revision. This is not possible. Around 8 crore people are there as voter, and all the names from the voter list has been deleted. A fresh inclusion of the names will take place. And for that, the conditions that has been put by the Election Commission are very, so strict that the common people cannot fulfill it. People do not have those documents which is required for this special intensive revision. So all this shows that the Election Commission is conducting this special intensive revision at the behest of the BJP, because BJP knows it well that they are not going to win this election in Bihar. So they are quite desperate. They want, this is very interesting, this is very unfortunate, that a government is bent upon depriving the people from their voting rights, from the constitutional rights. So they are democratic rights. They have deprived them, and they are trying to exclude those people who are poor people, marginalized people, who will fail to produce any document in support of their citizenship. So this is our main concern.
Right. Mr. Pasha,
our main concern is for the
stay with us. Let me also get in. I'm going to come back to you. Let me also get in Advocate KK Manan. Advocate Manan, do you expect more challenges? This is not the end of it. Today, the Supreme Court has said you cannot rule out Aadhaar as a proof of citizenship, a proof of residence. This has to be factored in. And in the coming months, there could be more legal challenges?
You see, the fingers are pointed out time and again so far as Aadhaar card is concerned by the Honorable Supreme Court. But at the same time, I don't agree for the purpose, you see, that in this 2 months or 3 months, I think the election is there. After the parliament election, they should have, if they wanted to exercise this power or doing this job, or they should have done immediately after the elections. 1, 2. I can give you example because the bogus votes are definitely in Bihar, no doubt in it. Because I have 4 employees, domestic servants, 3 drivers. All the 7 are from Bihar. They have the voting rights in Bihar also and in Delhi also. Now the question is that where they should exercise this right, whether in Bihar or here. Whenever they go to Bihar during the elections, they use this exercise here. Or whenever the election in Delhi, just a few months ago, election in Delhi was, and they all voted in Delhi also. So for that purpose, Election Commission is doing the exercise correctly. But the time, that is the question now, because the opposition or the other parties against the BJP, they are making hue and cry, no doubt in it. To some extent, they are right. But at the same time, it is not a very big issue. Rather, they should have cooperated for this purpose. And I know that my father was a sarpanch in the village. Whenever this elections voter list used to be prepared, people comes from the election commission. He used to prepare. He used to add the names of the new persons, and it is the duty of every party, their supporters also in the village. But other thing which is very important is that the documents, as the Honorable one Supreme Court judge has asked, whatever the documents are being asked now, even he is not ready with those documents immediately. For that purpose, I think 15-20 days are there. If 15-20 days are there. So I don't think that Election Commission doesn't have the power to prepare the voter list. Who will prepare the voter list? Who is the other agency?
Okay.
Who is the other institution?
All right, Mr. Manan, Mr. Manan, the point that the court is raising, we are fine with the exercise, but don't link it to the Bihar election, because we don't have a problem with the exercise. We have an issue with the timing. Radhika Khera, respond to that.
Parikshit, I want to even respond to the RJD spokesperson's melodrama. This is not a protest to protect voters, like I said. It's a panic attack by a party that just got electorally wiped out in the Lok Sabha. Now, he was talking about this is the same voter list that we went to Lok Sabha elections with. Well, in May 2024, on this very voter list, the BJP-led NDA won 31 out of 40 seats in Bihar. RJD and Congress together, just 7. The people of Bihar crushed them out. That's the verdict that they could not digest, and now they're attacking the referee. Let's go back to the Supreme Court. Now, they went to the Supreme Court. The court refused to stay the process. That is one thing very clear. It did ask pointed questions like, A, is this revision outside law? Answer is no. 2, does the EC lack authority? Answer is no. 3, is cleaning a bloated, potential corrupted voter list unconstitutional? Answer is absolutely not. Yet, and we've seen how the next date is, like I said, I'll repeat myself, it is the next day after a couple of days after this entire process ends. So that is the day that the Supreme Court has given for the Honorable Supreme Court has given for the next hearing. We have to read into that as well. Now, having said that, now Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi are doing road shows and crying wolf. Why? Because they have thrived on fake voters, infiltrators, and stolen ballots. A clean voter roll is a death sentence for their politics, and they've seen an example during the Lok Sabha elections. So I'm going to be very blunt. This isn't about saving democracy. This is about saving their fake vote pack. They are not scared of disenfranchisement. They're scared of exposure. When the court questions the timing, the EC explained this is the first digital roll purification post-2003, mandated under Section 21(3) of the RPA. It's legal, it's necessary, and it's overdue. So those who are crying the timing thing, let me ask, is there ever a wrong time to clean a voter list? Or is it only wrong when your political frauds are being caught? And finally, when the RJD says, again, once again, I'll say that they fought the Lok Sabha on this list, yes, and Bihar fought back, and that is why the tantrum is happening, not for democracy, but to stop their funeral in November.
All right, Anwar Pasha, my final question to you. One of the points that the opposition has made is that more than 3 crore voters may not be able to meet this criteria. Birth registration levels in Bihar are very low. Now, this is for voters not included in the 2003 electoral roll, and they are now required to provide proof of citizenship. But why wasn't this correction done over the past so many years? Is it enough for political parties to say birth registration levels are very low? What was being done about this on the part of successive governments, successive political parties who were in power in the state for 2 decades?
Yeah, that is the question. Why after 22 years, after the 22 years? It was conducted in 2003. And after 2003, tell me in which state this revision was carried out, a special intensive revision? Election after elections have taken place in many states. Why only for Bihar? This is insult of Bihar, people of Bihar. This is a onslaught on the people of Bihar. This is attack on the voting right of the people of Bihar. You first carry out a digital intensive this revision, a special intensive revision in the whole country. We have no objection. If you are saying that the voter list is bogus, then the present elected government in the center, the BJP government in the center, is a bogus government. They should resign first, and they should go for a special intensive revision for entire country. Let there be intensive revision in the entire country. Why they have chosen only Bihar? It means they are targeting Bihar because they know that unless such things are done in Bihar, unless they deprive a particular section and the sizable section of the people in Bihar from their voting right, they cannot win election here in Bihar.
Okay.
They have seen the last assembly election, the result of the last assembly election. We emerged at the first with the largest party in Bihar, and we are about to form the government. But due to their mishandling and malpractices in the counting, we were not allowed to form the government.
Right.
We could not get
Pasha,
that number in Bihar. So this tactics they adopted in the
we're running
last
out of time,
election.
but I'd like to thank you for joining us. And Radhika Khera and KK Manan as well.
They are not going to
This is
succeed
a story
in it. We
that's
will not allow
not
them.
ended anytime soon. Some tough questions for the Election Commission today from the Supreme Court. There will be a next date of hearing. There could be more legal challenges as well. We're taking a short break, but coming up on the other side, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has rejected the possibility of a change of leadership in the state. More on this when we return.